from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Gentlemen,
How are you, my friend?
very well.
Having a good day so far?
Of course.
Very good, very good. Isis, I assume you are as well.
Always.
Does his hair look different today? Stragglier?
Like we indicated,
Did you trim it?
The
Dude,
bald
at this
part.
point-
The bald part is really grown out quickly.
At this point, like the notion that you're like, did I trim it or am I messing with it?
I don't know.
Dude?
Just,
Like,
it looks...
Why-
Did you condition it?
dude, I'm literally not even.
Looks the same to me.
Does it?
I'm not doing anything to it.
All right. Is your 2 weeks almost up?
No, we're only
Okay,
into
1 week. 1
we're
week to
into a
go.
week. I don't even wear. I only wear a hat if I want to go out with if my parents want to do something. I'm not even gonna wear a hat unless it's like them. They're the only.
Well, you
reason
went
I'll
to the
wear a
movies
hat.
with your dad, didn't you?
Yeah.
The other day, did you wear a hat to that? You didn't wear a hat, did you?
No, I didn't.
All right.
Boy. Yeah, it was a point of contest, I will say.
Oh yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't thrilled.
Yeah, it's not. No, his idea, as we've discussed many times on this show, is he's very much a, well, what you say, what you dress, and how you act, that reflects on the family, and
Sure.
so yeah, I mean, he
Boy.
went still, he
Oh,
went
man.
still, but
Poor Fades.
did
Yeah.
not go. But
Tried so hard to just be a good, upstanding family, and they
there
got stuck with Biggie. Hey, did you watch? Did
could
you
be
get-
worse. There are worse kids out there. But yes, there are. Yeah. There's kids that get DUIs. There's kids that are OD.
Yeah, I
There's
guess you
kids
could
that
be violent.
I mean,
he's not violent.
It's
That's a
not
good
violent.
thing.
Yeah,
never
he's a good boy.
never been in actual trouble with the law.
Mm,
No, I haven't. Not with the law. Just saying.
Clear distinction.
Just saying. There could be worse.
I suppose you're right. Did you guys watch Monday Night Football last night?
no,
that?
I heard
Monday
Breeze,
Night's tackle ball. Excuse me.
Breeze broke the record, huh?
Yeah, boy, they made a big
All-time
deal out of
passing
that.
yards.
Yeah,
Woo.
it's a lot, man. Over 71,000.
I'm going to be the first to say that Breeze does not get enough credit.
You think so?
Yeah. He just broke the all-time record for fucking yardage.
Yeah.
Does
yeah.
Drew Brees get enough credit? Come on, man.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I mean,
Dude, here's the thing with him to me. Like, dude, he won the Super Bowl, right? He
In
did
2009,
win it. Right.
yeah.
Did I remember he was one of the first ones to put headphones on his kid?
yes,
Yes.
yes.
No, well, was that him
Remember
or was
that
that was
post-game?
no? I think that
Yeah.
was Reggie Bush with
No.
Are you sure?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Drew Brees carrying that kid around
Yeah.
with those giant headphones.
Now-
And then I also remember Oprah was like, "Yeah, you got a little something on your cheek here."
yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, it's
Why
a
doesn't he get that
fucking
removed,
birthmark."
by the way?
Well, here's the here's the thing about.
I mean, if you get, I don't
You've
know.
lived your whole. You've got a friggin' liver spot right there. Why
I know,
don't
but
you
it's
get that removed?
new. I would. If I was
Yeah.
Drew Brees, I would. Granholm finally got those
Oh my
things
God.
removed off her face.
Take a quarter and go downtown and get a rat to gnaw that
Gnaw
shit
that
off her
thing.
face.
Dude, I know that as we get into the political season too, there's a new ad that's like, don't vote for so and so. She's just like Jennifer Granholm. And they show this picture of Granholm, and she's got this gross looking look on her face. And they went with the mole pictures.
Sure, of course.
It's like they don't, it's like no
holds barred, baby.
Yeah, they're going all out. But yeah, I mean, pretty impressive. Did you see the play, by the way, that he
Wait
did?
a minute,
Did you
just
have
real
it?
quick to Jay's point about him being underrated. Like, I know I don't know tackle ball as well as obviously experts.
Yeah, either
But
do
so-
I. I'm just
but-
kind of like
but-
30,000 foot view. I
Yeah.
just I don't hear
but
enough
sometimes
about
I
Drew
hear
Brees.
it's different people, and I think like, sorry, but like when people say to Dan Marino, oh, he never won a title, so he cannot even be in this discussion. Well, sometimes I look at like how is Drew Brees not right there with Aaron Rodgers? Then he's now the leading pass thrower of all time. He
Yeah.
has the same amount of Super Bowl wins as Rodgers does, and so sometimes it's weird to me how
Rodgers gets tons of credit.
he's like looked at like a
Tons.
god.
Yeah.
Like
him and Brady.
Brady,
Those are the
Brady
two.
has
Breeze is right there though.
Brady deserves it though. He has 5 wins and 7 Super Bowl appearances. I mean, I'm just saying it's weird to me how certain people get. You're right. I think he does get underappreciated by the national people anyway.
It was kind of cool. I mean, he's at home. Monday Night Football audience has one of the best games of his entire career. They absolutely smoked the Redskins 43-19. And he was 26 of 29, 363 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow, man.
Yeah. And
What was the rating on that? They give a rating?
probably the max, whatever the max is, be my guess. His completion percentage of 89.7 was a career best too. that crazy? Do you have the play, E, I mean, how cool? Like, if you were writing the script of how you go break the record, you can't beat this.
Needs 35 pass yards for all-time NFL record.
So the family's on the field.
He's going long, isn't he? Is he going long?
Will we get it here before halftime?
How about those 4 kiddos, though? Being able to get down on that field.
Oh, yeah, those 4
what they're going
kiddos.
to experience. Incredible.
Breeze wide open. And Smith, what a way.
I don't know. Receiver kind of had to wait for it. Wasn't his greatest throw.
62-yard touchdown bomb. Yeah, pretty cool, man. He was mic'd up for the game, and then he goes over to the sideline. He's talking to his kids. You can do anything you want in life.
Oh, jeez.
One of those, yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, the play itself, they said, was the only
Yeah, they will
part-
be able to do anything they want in life.
Yeah, right. Drew Brees is your dad.
They'll be able to fail many a times if they want.
Who was it? It was like a rookie. That was his first touchdown catch too. Smith. Anyway, it was the only part of the moment that went off script. Smith wasn't actually the intended receiver on the play, and Brees made an alert throw after seeing how the defense reacted. It was his first career touchdown catch. He said he's fine because they had a guy with white gloves on the sideline to take that football straight to Canton, Ohio. And he's like, that's pretty cool. You know, I'm cool with having to go to Canton, Ohio to see my first touchdown ball.
Who's closest behind him? You know, anybody bearing down
You know, I'm not
within striking
sure.
distance?
I don't know. I mean, don't you think our guy will get there at some point? I mean, he's putting up huge.
Our guy?
Yeah, Stafford. I mean,
he throws it off.
I mean, he throws a shitload.
Yeah.
And he's thrown for more yards at this point in his career than anyone else. I mean, if he's on pace, I would think. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who else is there. But he passes Peyton Manning. Who did you see Peyton Manning? Did you have Peyton Manning's video? Peyton's funny, man. So Peyton sent this out to him.
Peyton, FYI, Drew Brees just broke your record.
Which one?
All-time passing yards.
Passing yards? Oh, okay. So I still have the touchdown record, right?
He's actually on pace to break that too.
What? Great. Drew, for 1,000 days, I've held the record for all-time passing yards in the NFL. I gotta tell you, it's been the greatest 1,000 days of my life. And thanks to you, that's over now, and you've ruined that for me. So thank you very much. I have nothing left to look forward to except slicing my tomatoes, making dinner for my family, putting together this wedge salad. Also, let this serve as the congratulations for the touchdown record, because as you can see, I'm very busy. I don't have time to keep doing these videos for you, congratulating you. But in all seriousness, Drew, congratulations on this record. You've done it the right way. All your hard work and dedication have paid off. You and I have come a long way since this picture back in 2000 when you were in college and I was in my third year in the NFL. So way to go. Proud of you. Good luck the rest of the way.
God, is he a goober?
I know.
How come Eli isn't that big a goober? They're brothers.
He's a goober too.
Is he, dude?
Yeah.
Just talk with the marbles in his mouth and
Not as
everything?
bad as Peyton, but it's still he's still a goober.
Gooberdom is
For
there.
sure. Oh, there you go. Okay. Brett Favre. But so Brady's still playing, and he's at 67,000 yards.
Marino could come back and get there.
Marino could. He's-
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, Eli Manning is at 53,000.
Wow, Rivers is up there. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yep. 51,000. Where's
Elway,
our
Moon, and
guy?
Tarkington would have to come back.
Yeah, I don't know if Fran
Carson
still
Palmer
has
is
it.
at 12. Wow.
Johnny Unitas could get there, but it would take him a few seasons if Johnny U wanted
Can
to
you
come back.
believe Vinny Testaverde is number 13 on that?
Is he really?
I am shocked by that.
That's just years. You know what I mean? Playing on bad Jets teams and having to come back all the time. You know, that's what'll get Stafford there too. Just continue to play on teams that are losing early, and you got to just fucking throw your ass off. Did you see the two fans that walked? They had a breeze-a-thon.
No.
And dude, Benjamin Gallagher and Grady Rains walked 71,940 yards, 40.86 miles to New Orleans to honor Breeze. We just want to show people how long 71,000 yards really is. This is a distance that was covered by some of the most athletic NFL receivers over the course of an 18-year career. So we combined all those routes into one massive honorary 41-mile route that leads straight into the heart of the Superdome. And so they started walking at like 3 a.m, walked all night. They had people following them, and neither of them are long distance walkers or runners or have any walking experience.
They are chafed.
They're hurting bigly.
Probably wearing jorts and jerseys, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of goofballs, but they got there and on the field and met Drew Brees before the game, and took them 14 hours before they made it to the Superdome. Kind of cool. They had their sign and got their moment. And
fans.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of tackle ball, you already know that Hamlin Pub is the place to watch the big tackle ball game with your buddies. But are you aware of Hamlin Pub's amazing Tuesday and Thursday food specials? Tuesdays, they are burger and brew days. That's an Angus burger, fries, and your choice of 12-ounce domestic beer or soda, just $6.99. If pizza's more your thing, though, get there on Thursdays when you'll get half off all pizzas. These specials are good at all 5 Hamlin Pub locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and the 2 in Shelby Township.
Well, it's official, Jay. Kavanaugh is on the Supreme Court.
I thought it was official on Saturday. No?
Yeah, it was, but then he had to do another confirmation thing. I don't know what that's all about, why they had to take a vote and then take another vote the next day, and then he gets sworn in, and then he goes to the White House last night and gets, like, sworn in again, and Trump offered an apology to you and your family, what you've been through, the humiliation. On behalf of our nation, he apologized on behalf of the nation.
Awesome.
On behalf of our nation, I would like to apologize to Brett and the entire Kavanaugh family for the terrible pain and suffering you have been forced to endure. You deserved a fair and dignified evaluation, not the campaign of political and personal destruction based on lies and deception that he was hit with by the Democrats. So, yeah, Kavanaugh admitted that, it tested me a bit. Last couple weeks was trying.
Tough.
Yeah. He's glad the process is over, and there's no bitterness. Claims no bitterness. I don't know if I believe that.
Isn't that something that he's like right in on the job though, like hearing cases today or tomorrow?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, isn't that usually the way you take a job, and then it's like, can you start tomorrow? But that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He starts right away. Addressing it, he said, the Senate confirmation process was contentious and emotional. The process is over. On the Supreme Court, I will seek to be a force for stability and unity. My goal is to be a great justice for all Americans and for all of America. I will work very hard to achieve that goal. The entire sitting Supreme Court was there at the swearing in for Kavanaugh, including John Roberts, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Yoda herself, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, all of them. He pledged he will act as a neutral and impartial decider, and he'll perform his duties independent of political considerations. And he promised to interpret the law, not make the law, which is what a lot of people want to hear. The law is established. It's my job to just interpret it. Of course, some people are not all that happy about it. Just see this Google exec.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, some people are still a little worked up by this. A design lead at Google slammed Republicans in an angry Twitter rant over the nomination. You are finished at GOP. You polished the final nail for your own coffins. Fuck you. All to hell. Dave Hogue wrote this. I hope the last image is burned into your slimy, evil, treasonous retinas are millions of women laughing and clapping and celebrating as your souls descend into the flames.
Eesh. Who's this guy?
Settle
Some
down,
Google
poops.
dude?
Yeah, he's an exec at Google. He's a design lead at Google. Settle down, poops. Settle down. He, of course, had to delete that, and then he came out. He was like, "Yeah, I deleted that tweet. Those opinions are mine personally, and I'm responsible for them. Yes, I should have been more eloquent and less condemning. Yes, I still believe the GOP is wrong and not serving your best interests. Yet I still believe I believe we can do much better." But yeah, spokesman for Google said, what employees say in their personal capacity has no bearing on the way we build or operate our products.
That's interesting.
So, yeah.
That's very interesting.
Doesn't play any part.
Tell that to James Damore too. Remember the engineer that he had
That's the
in-house memo that he put out and was fired for.
That's why I thought that was so interesting of a remark.
Yeah.
That's why we Bing things, gentlemen.
It's right. Exactly. That's right. That's the whole basis for our Binging and not using Google. So I was trying to remember what James Damore said, and I found a couple articles like, oh, these are the most divisive things he said in there. You want to hear them because they're pretty nasty things that he said, and I apologize.
Boy,
in
I'm not
advance.
sure then.
I apologize in advance if people are
rehash
offended.
This. Wow. Oof.
Yeah. Do you not want to
I'm
hear
ready.
that?
I'm ready.
All right. Differences in distributions of traits between men and women may in part explain why we don't have 50% representation of women in tech and leadership. Discrimination to reach equal representation is unfair, divisive, and bad for business. That's harsh. Google leans towards liberal, and that political orientation is actually a result of deep moral preferences and thus biases, left biases, compassion for the weak. Disparities are due to injustices. Humans are inherently cooperative. Change is good. Open, idealist. Right biases. Respect for the strong. Authority. Disparities are natural and just. Humans are inherently competitive. Change is dangerous. Closed, pragmatic. On average, men and women biologically differ in many ways. These differences aren't just socially constructed because they're universal across human cultures. They often have clear biological causes and links to prenatal testosterone. Biological males that were castrated at birth and raised as females often still identify and act as males. These differences may explain why we don't see equal representation of women in tech and leadership. Women, on average, have higher anxiety and lower stress tolerance. This may contribute to the lower number of women in high-stress jobs. We need to stop assuming that gender gaps imply sexism. Boy, this is getting bad, isn't it? Are you able to handle all this?
Yeah, I'm good.
I mean, this is brutal. Women, on average, show a higher interest in people, men, and things. Women, on average, look for more work-life balance, while men have a higher drive for status on average. It goes on and on, but you see the point. But we had to get rid of this guy. I mean, this guy needed to be terminated. You know what I mean?
What did he think was going to happen distributing that around?
I know. But you see this guy publicly go out and is like, I hope you rot in a fiery hell in the flames, you evil, slimy, treacherous, whatever. And it's like, no, it's fine. It's just has been. And this guy's like writes this carefully thought out thing that a lot of people would go, yeah, it's kind of making some solid points. And it's like, nah, he's got to go. No place for him here. We need this monster out of here, James.
Hey, everybody, check out the Detroit Cast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website, DetroitCast.com. The page includes businesses owned by listeners, so it'd be very cool if you took a look and used them and suggested them to your friends and family. This week's featured business is none other than DRKM Strategies. Contact listener Craig. He is waiting for your call. They specialize in helping independent small businesses grow by using proven internet marketing methods. They entice new customers to find you online, and Craig has done great work for the Detroit Cast, so contact him today.
I used one of our listener businesses as well, PC Solutions, today.
Oh, really?
I did. Well, actually, I just texted Aaron and said, man, my printer won't work again. And he went in the back door, and he's like...
He's so patient.
He is. He went in the back, and he's like, I'd explain it to you, but it's a long thing. Just you're working again. I was like, yeah, that's good. That's all I need to know.
Why would you want the explanation?
Yeah, I don't need to technically know what you did.
So that's a soft. So you don't have to bother me in the future, Mike. I'm going to explain this to you.
No, he said I'm not going to bother explaining this to you. It's complicated and long, and it won't matter anyways. So here, monkey, I've reset the button for you to push. Like, oh, very good. I'm good now.
Perfect.
Yeah. See the 2019 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and inductees.
I did not. Tell me.
Or nominees were
waiting with bated breath.
Not a single one of the 15 acts nominated were acts eligible for the first time, despite such major names as like Beck, Sheryl Crow, and Outkast all being newly up for induction. They're not even on the list. Instead, the list is largely a combination of retreads, both newer and older, as well as a handful of older artists nominated for the first time, despite having been qualified for decades in some cases. So Rufus and Chaka Khan, Billboard has listed these, and they've given like the odds. Because how many did they take? Like 5 or 6 or something?
Something like that.
Oh, inductees each year? I guess.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but it's like 5 or 6 maybe. I don't know if it's even a set number, but Rufus and Chaka Khan. I guess super influential, but I don't know much.
I always hear that.
All I know is like what you just Chaka Khan. That terrible 80s hit song.
Right.
They've got Rufus and Chaka Khan as 10-1 odds to get in. Roxy Music. I don't know much. They're seeing their first. What they say is like these bands from Europe that weren't huge stars here in America, but were shows the bias that the Hall has for non-American bands and stuff. But they said like if this was in the UK, Roxy Music is in all day long and would have been a long, long time ago. They've got them at 10-1. John Prine. Have you guys even heard of John Prine? Country guy, I guess.
No, I don't think I have.
8-1 odds. I've never even heard of that dude. Kraftwerk. Do you remember Kraftwerk?
I don't, not at all.
I actually saw them at freaking
Did you
Movement a few years ago.
Pull up one of their videos. Kraftwerk. And I remember this, and it's like, no, please don't let this band into the Hall of Fame. No obvious precedent for German electronic.
Oh, dude.
With little U.S. crossover success. They may be another case, they say, for like an honorary inductee at some point down the road.
I mean, I don't know what
the red one.
Yeah, I know who they
Formed in
are.
Dusseldorf in
which one?
1970.
The fourth one down.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is the inspiration for Dieter's Dance Club.
It's got to be,
apparently.
dude.
Yeah. Kraftwerk.
I already hate
Dude,
it.
it was like a big deal when they said when they went to move it a few years ago. I didn't know that, but I heard from people like, oh shit, this is.
Let people see it. Yeah.
Yes. It's almost Devo-like.
Sort of.
Wow. More Mannequinian though.
Yeah. Very much so.
Jesus, this is the foundation
Yeah,
of
that's my point. Like, cause I mean,
of our journey.
if you let this in, I mean, this starts opening the door for techno and other kind of techno style music.
Kraftwerk.
Are you guys expecting this to pick up and have like a hook?
That's not the kind of music it is, though.
Fast forward to let's see if it picks up and really starts rocking out.
It's not gonna rock.
Keep going further ahead, dude.
Huh.
I mean, this screams Hall of Fame if anything does.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Wow.
They actually did a kind of cool thing. They had a 3D screen behind them, and everyone was given glasses. And so when you watched them, at least the time I saw
Oh my
them,
God, I would have seized.
Yeah.
and they had
Kraftwerk
these
would've
guys.
made me
They had
seize.
these mannequin robots there at first.
No, I don't want to see this band in the Hall of Fame. You don't think that's terrible, Jay?
I do. I mean,
kinda like it?
I understand it's dated, so you got to try to appreciate it as late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking nature.
I suppose it sparks bands like who are the guys that wear the helmets? The two French dudes.
I can't think of it, but duh.
Yeah.
Of course it does. I mean, it's all part of that.
Yeah.
I can't.
I know. I've heard Kraftwerk named a ton of people like MC5. You know, super influential and all that. 8-1 odds they give them to get in. Speaking of Devo on the list. Jay.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can go both Kraftwerk and Devo.
Absolutely not.
Right?
Not a chance. Nope.
I mean, put some separation between the two.
Yeah.
You can't have those red shirts and the red hats of Devo.
Well, Devo, they say, has a couple of advantages. They've got a Middle America base in Akron, Ohio.
They are American, right? They're an American
Devo,
band.
yeah, I think so. And they've got the crossover hit "Whip It." Very good. Did you like that song? I wasn't
I
crazy.
love that song.
Really?
Oh my God, it's a Bonaventure staple. When
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
Bonaventure, I think Devo and Whip It Good.
I think the red hats.
Yeah, like the potted, the plant pots basically in their heads, right?
Yep. And then you've got the presence of lead singer Mark Mothersbaugh. He's one of Hollywood's most successful film composers now.
Yeah, they are from Akron. You said that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got this base in Akron. Boy, that sounds weird that they'd be from Akron, Ohio, you know? They've got them at 6-1 odds to go in. LL Cool J. Right? There's two rap acts in the last half decade to be inducted. Tupac and NWA. I believe was that the same year or was that separated by a year? Whatever.
Don't know.
5-1 odds for LL Cool J. I mean, he had that. What was that big hit? Mama Said Knock You Out.
Right.
And that was a big album, but
This was a crossover, you know. Oh, look at him.
I
On
just
stage with a rock band.
like musically. Do you think of like, oh, LL Cool J?
I Need Love.
Was
Remember
that
that one?
No.
It's a slow song. It's a
Yeah.
ballad by LL himself.
5-1 odds for him. Todd Rundgren.
Yeah.
5-1 odds. The Cure.
Yeah. Cure should be there.
Yep, one of the most successful bands in the last 40 years. The Cure have several beloved hits, instantly recognizable sound and image, still touring arenas and headlining festivals internationally, but they've only been nominated twice in their 15 years that they've been eligible. I agree. Cure belongs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Robert Smith?
Yeah.
Who always freaked me out. Was it the red lipstick and that black hair?
Yeah. Crazy sort of Edward Scissorhands look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. 4-1 odds. Billboard gives them. MC5. It's kind of
Really? They're
cool.
up, huh?
Yeah, 3-time nominee. Wayne Kramer is currently in the midst of a star-studded 50th anniversary tour in conjunction with his latest book, which you really liked. I'm making my way through it still. So they're more in the public eye than they have been in many years.
I really like that book. The hard
Yeah.
stuff. Get the hard stuff, everybody. It's a good book.
They said they've been more in the public eye now for the first time since Jennifer Aniston wore an MC5 t-shirt on Friends. 3-1 odds for them. Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Rage Against the
They
Machine.
seem a bit too recent, maybe. I don't know. Maybe like they need a few more years to percolate.
2 years of eligibility.
Okay.
So they point to that being like, it could be a strong indicator. Second nomination in 2 years of eligibility that they're going to get in. They've only released 3 albums though.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. 3-1 odds. Def Leppard.
I know you like them.
Not really, dude.
Oh.
Not a big Def Leppard guy. They say 2 decades ago it would have been crazy to even be considering these guys for the Hall. 2 years ago it was Journey, last year was Bon Jovi, and this year it's Def Leppard. I mean, it depends what you're gauging it. You know what I mean? Like they've sold 1 trillion albums. They still do stadium tours. They've been around forever. They give them 5-2 odds of going in. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a huge Def Leppard fan. I know fans of theirs are super fans, but I don't know. You don't like them?
I like the earlier stuff a lot, better than the Hysteria. Hysteria just got.
So you're more of a fan of the Untergleben Globen.
Yeah.
Those days.
Rock of Ages.
Do you think it's because the drummer only had both arms back then that you were more of a fan, and now once he lost an arm, you lost more?
Yeah, there's something about the beat that I really enjoyed in the earlier stuff.
Well, it got electronic.
That Hysteria got so stupid, so big.
Yeah.
Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Oh.
That was Hysteria, right? That's what that was called?
Mm-hmm. And then but all those like, do you want to get rocked?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it rocks out of the question. Like all that cheeseball shit. I was just like, I hated it when it came out. But then they had Love Bites, that huge ballad on that album.
Yeah.
I think they had 6 big hits off that album, in all honesty.
It was enormous. That album ruled the world for
Yeah.
like 2 years, and I guess that left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, well, Pyromania came out, and then drummer loses arm, and then I think it was 3 years before Hysteria came out and exploded.
Yeah.
Giant, and they played in the Round that whole tour. That was one of the first bands I remember doing that. And I went to that show, but whatever. So Def Leppard, and then you got the Zombies, 2-1 odds for them. They say Janet Jackson. No doubt she had some major hits back in the day, and they point to like Madonna's in, Donna Summers is in. You can't leave Janet out. Plus we got to see part of her titty at the Super Bowl. 2-1 odds there. Stevie Nicks, already in with Fleetwood Mac, obviously.
Okay.
But they say, it's ridiculous. Of course she's a Hall of Famer, but is she a Hall of Famer strictly as a solo artist? That's a bit trickier. She's has her share of hits, not as many as she did with Fleetwood Mac. Probably close to Pat Benatar as far as like comparable, they say, who's been eligible for 14 years and never nominated. Nick's overall star power may render that distinction irrelevant. Wouldn't be the first time, after all, they point that Ringo Starr is in the Hall of Fame as a solo artist.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 3-2 odds. And then even money for the last one on the list, Radiohead.
Oh yeah.
And that's an automatic, right?
Yes.
That was the odds. They were eligible last year and were snubbed. And people were like, this was the one guarantee was fucking Radiohead. How do you keep them out? But they say it might be that Radiohead has vocally and outwardly been like, dude, we don't give a shit about the Hall of Fame. We wouldn't show up there anyways and play. And so the Hall might be holding that against them.
Yeah.
Like, since they're not going to come here and accept it anyways. But, it does hurt their credibility. If you keep someone like Radiohead out.
Yeah, exactly. But the band is always very, we're against, capitalism, and we're gonna against the music industry and all this shit. They've released one album not too long ago, and they're like, just pay whatever you think is fair.
Oh, that's right.
They do shit like that. So
I'm not even a Radiohead fan, and I can say, dude, a band like Radiohead gets into the Hall,
right,
for sure. Do you want to do a read?
Hey, everybody. Sorry. PC Solutions, as Mike mentioned, they are Michigan's premier managed IT service provider. They prefer Acer computers as well, and they are an Acer authorized service provider with a direct link to the manufacturer. They can easily compete with Dell, HP, or Lenovo on performance and meet or beat those products in cost. PC Solutions is available 24/7, 365 to support any size company anywhere. Call Aaron at PC Solutions 517-787-9934.
Do you know what the nation's #1 fast food joint is 2 years in a row?
Oh man, McDonald's.
It's not McDonald's. No way, right? There's no way it's McDonald's.
No, it's not McDonald's.
I'm gonna go with In-N-Out. I know that sounds like
Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
yeah.
That makes sense.
The Pittsburgh Marathon has run into some problems.
Does it make sense? I mean, it's not even like around that much, Jesus. Like, how many-
but people that like
Comparatively.
Chick-fil-A, like no one, think about this.
But
like,
In-N-Out does really well, and they're only like West Coast too.
Think about this to me. Like, it's funny, not that it matters that much about fast food, but like nobody is passionate about fucking McDonald's anymore. Like, you know what I mean? There was a time when McDonald's was just like seen as like, whoa, McDonald's. I don't know anybody that's like, I fucking love McDonald's. Nobody.
Yeah,
But
no, you're right,
Chick-fil-A,
yeah.
people will like wait in line for Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah,
It's the scarcity of it, right? It's got to be because there's only a couple in Michigan.
There's only a couple in Michigan, yeah. And dude, I went a year after it opened, or 6 months after it opened, to that mall. I happened to be at Somerset. I was like, oh, I'm gonna check out Chick-fil-A. The line was still like, it was incredible.
It's got to be the scarcity. If it was on every corner like McDonald's,
Yeah.
wouldn't people calm down about it?
Oh,
I mean, they
for sure,
would, they
for
would,
sure.
but still, I see people. You're right about that. I'm just saying it doesn't shock. I guess it doesn't shock me because everybody I always hear talk about Chick-fil-A just fucking loves it.
Yeah.
And I think that people would think
I was
McDonald's for some
underwhelmed
reason.
by it, to be honest with you. It's good. It's fine. You had it recently, didn't
Yeah,
you, Jay?
I thought it was fine.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It's not like, oh my God, I have to go back to that Chick-fil-A again. It's the greatest thing I've ever eaten. It's not like that at all. It's just decent.
Although,
Pretty good.
dude, I used to love when I would go down south, the two things I'd always do would go to Waffle House or Sonic. And then when Sonic finally came to Michigan, like we did these commercials for years, but we didn't even have one. They finally came. They put one right on 59. I remember going, "Oh my God, yes!" I think I've gone twice since it came, just because for whatever reason you're right. So to Jay's point, I guess the scarcity was like this thought of like, "Oh my God, Sonic," and then they placed a few by me. And I'm like, eh. I mean, I've gone, but
What is Sonic? Is it like burgers and stuff?
yeah, just
It's
burgers.
kind of like A&W.
Yeah.
Where you can pull in, and there's
It's styled after like you can they in the South they still have, I think, the girls that go on the roller skates and stuff. They don't do it up here, but
Well, Chick-fil-A might be the number one fast food joint in the country, but it doesn't come without its problems. You know, they are Christian based.
well, they're not open on Sundays, and they believe in God. So
They believe in God.
two
Yes.
big strikes for fast food goers.
They also became the title partner for the children's race at the Pittsburgh Marathon.
Uh-huh.
And
That did not go over well.
I mean, trying to help children at a marathon.
They're hateful, though.
Yeah, I know. Pittsburgh Three Rivers Marathon announced its partnership. Celebrated. They had a family event. They had the cow there, and he was wearing running shoes and taking pictures with the kids. And everyone got to take home prizes and coupons. We're grateful to Chick-fil-A for their support and are thrilled they share our commitment to inspiring the next generation of runners throughout the Pittsburgh region. The partnership, one person in specific, Sue Kerr, she was, no, Pittsburgh Marathon.
Yeah. I mean, remember, they are Christians, so they're probably anti-abortion, right?
And gay.
Yeah.
You know, they've got
The gay thing.
Yeah, they're all like, whoa. LGBTQ, I think.
Because of gay.
Oh no, Pittsburgh Marathon
The
has
gay.
brought Chick-fil-A on as a sponsor of their youth races. She's writes a correspondence blog for the gay lesbian community.
So she's impartial, obviously.
Right. Youth from non-Christian faiths deserve better. This is divisive and a hurtful choice. It's highly inappropriate for any Christian organization or business to eagerly jump into anything to do with youth and children right now. Ooh, that's a shot. That's a shot, you know. Like,
Catholic
Are they
Church.
Catholics? There's,
Yeah.
not every Christian faith is part of the Catholic Church.
Well, she's combined that plus the allegations of sexual assault with Brett Kavanaugh,
The
known
allegations,
Christian
yeah.
as well.
Yep.
How could you dare do this?
She's tying that into this.
So she's got a petition now demanding they retract and get rid of this sponsorship with Chick-fil-A, this partnership. Earlier this year, it was earlier this year. The American Customer Satisfaction Index restaurant report is the one who found them to be the number one restaurant chain. You know, can you put your stupid fucking beliefs aside for 1 minute and just go, wow, that's great. Here's this powerful company. They're going to be the title sponsor. It's good. It's getting kids active. They're sponsoring this marathon. Can you, they have their strongly held beliefs. You have your strongly held beliefs. Neither are wrong or evil.
What if there was a company that was a huge supporter of the Muslim faith? Islam.
No, fuck
I mean,
them. Yeah,
just
no,
huge
no,
supporters.
No, we don't
What
want-
if?
we don't want
Would
that.
that company be allowed, Mike?
No,
In the
absolutely
Mike
not.
Walters world?
No, absolutely. Of course they would. Are you doing good for something, or are you doing bad? If you're sponsoring this event, that's a good thing. It's good for the Pittsburgh area. It's good for children. You know, I mean, to look at that and just be like, they stand for this that I don't believe in. Well, go fuck yourself then. Okay, people don't believe in what you believe in. Should those people then go and picket everything you do for the rest of your life because we don't believe what you believe? Just go about your business. Don't go to Chick-fil-A then.
It's all so stupid.
Don't run in the marathon.
It's all so stupid.
The kids eat some Chicksin and go for a jog. That's all they want to do.
It is a weird thing, though. Like Chick-fil-A sponsoring the idea of a running situation is kind of like, I mean,
saying their food's not healthy enough,
well,
in moderation.
It's always like when I see these athletes, like when I see these athletes, like just like, especially when it comes to like Olympic things, you know, McDonald's is such a big thing. And I'm like, as if these Olympic athletes are chowing down these Big Macs.
Yeah.
Like,
no way.
They used to do that way more when we were younger. Remember like Larry Bird and Michael Jordan eating Big Macs and drinking Coke. It's official drink of the NBA.
They never really ate it if you watch though. They did the fake bite.
Oh, I hated that. I hated
the perfect looking freaking sandwich that was as big as their hands.
It was probably plastic.
Oh, of course it was.
You know, and
every sesame seed just perfectly placed.
You know what I can't stop paying attention to when I watch TV now? When people are eating or drinking something and I watch them take a sip and it's like, you didn't take a sip. That was not a sip on a sitcom or something, or watching people chew.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you pay attention, it's like chewing is really hard to fake. They overdo it a little bit. Oh man, it's delicious, honey.
But what are they supposed to do? Just not have food eating situations? In these
no, you can have food eating situations. I'm just saying it's noticeable that it's hard to chew and act chew. It's hard to do.
Act chew.
Well, the reality is, when you start breaking down TV sitcoms or even shows on like a Netflix, there's a lot of like no one sneezes unless it's a plot line. You know what I mean? If you're, things like that.
Yeah.
Like there's things that just don't happen that happen.
Never thought about that. You're right.
Like,
they don't go to the bathrooms that often. Either.
Right. Unless it's a plot line. They don't go to the bathroom. They don't just like, someone isn't just like, I have to go. Unless it's like they're in the car on a road trip and it's like, guys, I gotta go.
Speaking of TV, you guys been watching the Black Mirror at all?
That show is freaking amazing.
I watched my first episode last night. I think it was season 4, episode 1. It was the USS Callister one. It was like that.
I won't be able to remember right now.
Season 4, episode 1.
It starts in a weird way on Netflix too, by the way, though. Because it's a British show or something, and then Netflix is weird. On Netflix, it goes like season 4 to 1. If you want to start at 1, you have to like go down. Although it doesn't matter because no show is.
Yeah, I didn't intentionally jump in at season 4, episode 1. I just, there it was, and I'm like, I've been meaning to check this out.
What's it called again?
The Black Mirror. It's like a Twilight Zone kind of deal. Like, they're one-off stories where I don't think you ever see the same cast.
Not one of them. They're all one-off stories.
So you could jump in season 4.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can start wherever you want.
It's a one-off.
Yeah, but it's the one virtual reality, the Star Trek Takeoff E.
Yes, I've seen that
the
one.
guy creates like his own virtual reality Starfleet, and he takes his coworkers and he builds digital models of them into this virtual reality, and he basically torments them. Ooh. And they're real digital models of themselves because he used their DNA.
Holy
so it's
shit.
like this crazy, it's just a crazy story, but it definitely has potential.
Yeah, I would say to me, the thing about that show, just like a lot of things, like unfortunately, like with Twilight, if you remember, we talked about this on the show like in the last few months that I started the old Twilight series, and like I liked the first few seasons, but with shows like that are so kind of
you started Twilight Zone, not Twilight.
So, yeah, Twilight Zone. Yeah, I thought I said different. Twilight Zone. Sorry. Yeah, the old and the original, by the way, from the 50s or whatever. But the thing is, when you
wondered if you were on Team Jacob or not.
I don't even know. But with the shows like these that are like so out there, to me, the only negative is like they can run out of ideas, in my opinion, fast. So like with Black Mirror, personally. Like the last season, I think they have 5.
They can run out of ideas. We just talked about it. This is a different cast every show. It can be anything. It can be literally anything.
Well, yeah, but look, I'm just saying with Black Mirror,
I can run out of ideas. But
Twilight Zone dude, I love the first 3 seasons of like old Twilight Zone, and by 4, I was like, okay, I get it.
Did that happen with X-Files? Because you loved X-Files.
But X-Files is an episodic show, though, that's following a storyline.
This seems limitless to me. Like, you could say that about The Office. They'll run out of ideas. What could happen to
I'm telling you, dude. Like, this is my opinion of Twilight Zone. This is my opinion of Twilight Zone and Black Mirror. I love the first fucking few seasons. The last season of Black Mirror that recently came out,
they ran out of ideas.
I kind of didn't like it that much. I thought 1 or 2 was okay. And with
Is it just the genre wears on you, where you're like, okay, they're trying to like, do this.
No,
thriller
Twilight Zone did the same to me. Like the first, and I'm talking the 50s ones or whatever. The first few seasons were great, and then eventually it's like, okay, I get it, another Alien one. Okay, I get it.
Where did this show originally air?
Somewhere in Britain. It's not an American show. You can tell by the way they talk. Like no one ever has American.
So episode 4 seemed very American to me, but I have read that it's a British show.
Yeah,
it is a British.
But it didn't air like on.
No idea.
TBS or anything like that. Like
no,
it just showed up on Netflix.
I heard about it a few years ago. This Black Mirror thing. It's been on my list, on my list.
I've actually suggested it to you, Mike, before.
I keep seeing it pop up on my Netflix. When I first open it up, it's always right there, so it's recommending it for me as well. Anyway, going back to the church, Chick-fil-A, those fine folks and all that. We finally have someone to blame for all the sexual assault problems that the Catholic Church has had. The Pope has said this is the work of the devil and has outed him.
Yeah. And end of that. On to the next thing.
Yep. Well, we know all they need to do now is go and confess, and everything's good to go.
The devil is alive and well and working overtime to undermine the Roman Catholic Church. According to Pope Francis, he said that Satan is to blame for the abuse crisis and has asked Catholics around the world to recite a special prayer every day in October to try and beat the devil back. The church must be saved from the attacks of the malign one, the great accuser, and at the same time be made more aware of its guilt, its mistakes, and abuses committed in the present and past.
I know that seems very like lame, kind of like, okay, you're not taking personal responsibility here.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yep.
But I mean, I do believe in good and evil. And I think there's evil in this world, and that shit is evil, dude. That's evil shit. When you're infiltrating a church to that extent culturally, I don't know. I mean, if you believe in heaven and hell.
Yeah, I'm still going to side on the personal responsibility side. You know what I mean? Personally.
I mean, I guess it goes to, why do you do bad things, I'm
a bad boy sometimes.
It's the devil.
Yeah. It just seems like such an easy way. Didn't Adam try this defense? Didn't Adam try blaming?
He blamed Eve.
Did he? I didn't even know that, really.
I don't know. We haven't heard the devil side of things.
I mean, my point is, if you're asking a Christian church to explain why this would happen, does it surprise you that they would do it in theological terms?
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like more people are looking for personal responsibility. Like, dude, no, you cannot just go everything bad that happens. Oh, it's the devil. Fuck you. Take some responsibility. You had people making it. Were you all a part of this whole devil thing where you're shipping these guys off to different places instead of holding anybody accountable?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we try that in a court of law and see how far the devil made me do it excuse goes? That won't hold up in a fucking court. We've seen people try it before. It's not going to work. Those guys will go to prison where they belong. And so, I think people are just disgusted. Like, dude, this has been going on for decades. We've known about it. We've called it out. It still continues. You can't just be like, oh, fuck, the devil did it. Here's a prayer, and we'll push back the devil.
Is that all he did? I don't know. I'm not tracking the situation. So is that all he did? It's the devil's fault. Don't blame us.
Yeah.
I assume there's also some personal responsibility being taken, or no?
Yeah. He said, save us from the attacks of the malign one, the great accuser, and at the same time be made ever more aware of its guilt, its mistakes, and abuses committed in the present and the past. So I'm assuming be aware of our own mistakes.
Okay, so he's not doing what you just described then.
Well, yeah, he is. The church must be saved from the attacks of the malign one, the great accuser. And then we have to recite this poem or this passage he wants us to enlisted the aid of St. Michael, the archangel. He's mentioned several times in the Bible as the leader of the angels who ousted the devil. And so St. Michael, the archangel, defend us in battle, be our defense. Archangel. I don't mean to offend you. I don't.
You're not, dude. I'm not Catholic, and I think this is the worst possible thing that a church, any organization could ever be involved in is the sexual abuse of kids, especially a situation where these people are supposed to be the most trusted people on the planet. I mean, they're giving you guidance through life, right?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the ultimate in trust, and it's been the ultimate in broken trust, and it's sick and it's disgusting. I'm just like, dude, he's giving a theological explanation in part. I don't know. Maybe, I'm not trying to defend the Catholic Church, but I think they're probably also saying, yeah, and we do have to take care of personal responsibility here. We do need to broom out the bad people. We do need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Maybe, or if he's not, then shame on them. If he's just going, it's the devil. Yeah. But I think are you representing this correctly? By just saying
well,
there.
I don't know. I'm reading the story for
Yeah.
what it is. I don't know what the Pope actually thinks. I just think that, you know.
Well, then to just go, well, you just point to the devil and point at the devil, and then you move on.
Well, I'm making a mockery of the whole story. That's kind of what I do. But I do think that a lot of people look at that at face value and just go, okay, man, you know what? The
it's a
cover-ups
tough
that
PR
went on,
message, isn't it?
It's brutal.
It's the worst ever.
It's brutal. And the fact is, I think why it's so offensive and disturbing is because of what you laid out. Like trying to even wrap your mind around, wait, what? This has gone on for decades with this group of people. How is that even possible?
Maybe
Taking
there's
advantage
evil
of-
in this world. Maybe there's good. Maybe there's evil. Maybe there's a struggle.
That's fine.
Maybe
but
there's heaven and hell.
You're a personal responsibility guy.
No
I mean-
shit. That's why I just said what I said. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying again, for the fourth or fifth time, you're looking to a guy who is a theologian,
right?
And you're wondering why he's giving a theological explanation for what he believes.
I'm not
is
wondering
going on.
why. I just think it's lame. That's all.
Okay, but you don't know what else he's done. So how is it lame if we don't know what else he's done? How if he is requiring personal responsibility on the other end?
Because indications have been that they have not done that to date. That they've spent way more time covering things up. That's what we've seen on the surface, right?
Yeah, but the story here is what are they doing now? And if you're telling half the story, that's my only criticism. Of
Well, that's
telling half the story.
I don't know what else he's doing. I'll leave it there because I don't know. I can't answer your question. Stormy Daniels. I was hoping that we would never hear her name again.
Yeah, right.
Did you know they have a 60 Minutes Australia?
No.
Yeah. She was on 60 Minutes Australia over the weekend. I was like, I saw 60 Minutes. I was like, I saw 60 Minutes. I don't recall her being on there. No, she was down under. And she feels pretty bad about the way she talked about Trump in her book. She was like
mushroom dick. Or what?
Yeah. I was very angry in writing that. And now that the book is out and people are reading about it and it's all over the internet, I actually feel pretty terrible about it because in a way it's body shaming. I did not want to hurt him. Really? I would say that's exactly what you wanted to do. My intention was for people to stop hurting me. She claimed that what did she say? It was the least impressive sex she's ever had, was one quote. And then she compared his penis to a toadstool with Yeti pubes.
How did she think that that was
And the
gonna
mushroom
take
character in
people
Mario Kart.
the heat off of her? Didn't she think that maybe just not doing a book or a strip club tour? I mean, she could have gone away. I mean,
She's full of shit.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Absolutely full of shit.
She went into such detail to prove she wasn't lying. But no, you could have just said he's got a big fucking fat head. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have to do this whole Yeti pubes and you went out of your way to make it, awful sounding.
grotesque and embarrassing.
I justify it in a way to myself, and even now saying this is a man who said much worse things about women multiple times. So here's a taste of your own medicine. So it was revenge, essentially. That's what she's saying. Good for you.
All I see on this when I Googled it was 60 Minutes from
Dinged it.
Stormy Daniels. I'm not a liar. I'm not a gold digger. Says Stormy Daniels.
You are the definition of a gold digger, sweetheart.
I don't know about that.
You were paid for your silence, accepted it, signed off on it, took your $130,000, and then
Well, back up. She was paid for the sex.
was she? Did he pay her? He had to have paid
Well,
her. Right?
she was paid in that she received the promise of The Apprentice, right? That's
Oh,
why she did it.
He was going to try to get her on The Apprentice. Yeah, but as if NBC was going to put a fucking porn star on The Apprentice, even if Donald wanted her there. It just doesn't. Maybe Tracy Lords.
This is my friend Stormy.
Hi, this is Stormy. We met at a golf club.
And what does Stormy do?
She's the best.
What are we gonna? Okay, Don. Here's the thing. We gotta put everyone's saying so and so ex basketball player.
Yeah.
What do we put for your friend here?
The best.
Vivid videos, the best award-winning vagine. Put anything you want on there. It's perfect. She's perfect for the show. Brilliant. Ugh. We were talking about Banksy.
Yeah.
And that the shredding that went on. Did you see this asshole?
Dude, a guy who owned another print of it shredded it himself.
The story is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he took a knife.
Like an X-Acto knife.
Yeah, to his print, which he paid like $50,000 for.
Yeah, it's worth, they say $60,000 it's worth.
Yeah, he shredded it and he's like, well, mine's shredded too, so is mine worth?
Oh, I want to sell it now. Can you guys post this for $120,000 minimum? And they went, "You are a fucking dipshit. That is worth $1.50 now." He took a $60,000 print of an original Banksy, trying to capitalize, and they say it's now worth $1.50. Yeah, and this
Why is it even worth that? I mean, like, why not
I'd give him $1.50 for it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Probably give him 10.
Yeah, sure. I'll give him 10.
Sure.
Experts refuse to accept the defiled piece, which is one of just 600 mint condition prints in the world. Why are those prints worth so much? Like 600 prints, not an original. It's just a runoff print. But I mean, I've got one. The Lennon head one I have is, it's one of 50 or whatever. But I still don't know why. It's like, I get it if he made this.
It's supply and demand, right?
Yeah, I guess. But 60 grand, someone's going to pay 60 grand for a reprint of a fucking Banksy. But anyway, they blasted the crazy decision of this guy's opportunistic vandalism, estimated worth now at $1.50. So yeah, they say the difference is when Banksy pulls a stunt like this, like he's one of the most creative and sought after artists in the world. So for him to pull a stunt like this,
the difference is the artist created a piece of art.
Yes, a new piece of art. And with the attention and everything else, it at least double the value. For this moron, think about that, dude. He's like, oh, I could shred my Banksy too.
I would love to have seen the video.
Doesn't even put it through a shredder.
I would love to see like the thought process or who he was around when he was about to do this. Like, were there friends that he, was like, dude, what if I just cut mine open?
Yeah. He had to take this thing, this limited edition mint condition
that he paid
for, take it out of its casing, set it down, get his ruler and his X-Acto knife.
Wow.
Like that first cut. And how do you have enough money?
Drunk on drugs?
How do you have enough money?
I hope so, honestly.
No, I don't think so. I think he really believed this because he wasn't the only one. They were inundated with calls, people going, should I shred my Banksy too?
My God, people.
So much so that my art broker, who's a respected, that values art and stuff, had to send tweets out saying, we've had a number of Banksy print owners contact us today asking if they shred their artwork, will it be worth more? Please, please don't. The events of the last 24 hours are a very unique piece of art history. # girl with a balloon. Yeah, what this person did today seems to have done is needlessly ruin a print worth about 60 grand and reduce its value to almost nothing. We strongly recommend nobody else takes valuable art and tries to cash in on what history will judge a simply brilliant stunt. There are limited numbers of girl with a balloon prints in the world. Today we lost one, and it's a crying shame.
If you can't understand that simple distinction, man, get out of the art game.
How does he have the money to pay for this?
Well, that's what I was
but then
wondering.
Also doesn't freaking understand that this, not that just because you have money means that you're smart, but you think that if you had the money to pay for that thing, you would have a little more
common sense. And especially
if think about it,
if you're dipping your toes into the art world, you would think, to Jay's point, that the distinction would be very easy to see. Like, what Banksy did was just create a completely new piece of art made by Banksy. I'm going to get my X-Acto knife and I'm going to make mine like that one. No, you dipshit. Why would you ever think that would work? And I think he's right. Like, dude, if you're smart enough to have an extra 50 grand laying around that you could buy a piece of art, you would think you've got some intelligence.
I'd love to see the scene. I would have loved to have seen the scene.
Incredible.
Wish he would have filmed it for us and put it on Instagram or something.
Oh, I know. Oh.
I wish he would have had a selfie of him going, okay, so guys, I'm about to be rich. I don't know how dumb he could be, but look what he did. So he could be very dumb.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a selfie of him recording this.
The one good thing he did for the art world is he just made the other 599 reprints way more valuable.
Oh yeah. Those smart people that didn't touch their paintings, they're happy.
Yeah.
Took one out of circulation.
Yep. So let's take a quick time out. More information coming out on the owner of the limousine company where the 20 people were killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't sound good. Sounds like quite a shit company, to be honest with you. Anyway, we'll get to that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the show. Mike and Jay. Move on here. See, Anthony Weiner's going to get out of prison soon. Early.
Good for Weiner.
Good behavior.
Yeah, he's been a good boy. And so he's apparently going to get out. He's going to go free 3 months early because of that good behavior. He was sentenced to 21 months. And I didn't think they offered that sort of stuff for federal prison, but I know they don't. He'll be let go on May 14th, but federal prisons are not eligible for parole, but they do give you up to 54 days a year for good behavior. I didn't realize that was a thing.
He's been a good boy, so he's out, huh?
Yeah.
How long until he does it again?
My guess is he gets out May 14th, May 16th.
Well, what
maybe?
time is he getting out on May 14th? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Probably early.
Let's say it's noon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he'll be
divorced?
sending a dick pic by 1.
Him and Huma, are they divorced? Huma.
I think they were separated. I don't know if it's official yet. I think wasn't he one of those that was going to rehab camp to ride horses and paint?
Oh,
and
he
stuff?
definitely was.
Infinity pools, I believe, were on the agenda.
Yeah. So that obviously would have cured whatever he had going on there. My guess is he will be trolled without mercy and try to be catfished. Like people are going to try to just tempt him like crazy with the, underage girls. And
this article says from January 10th says Huma and Anthony Weiner withdraw their divorce.
Oh, that's good.
Working on it.
Yeah, that's
good.
It's funny.
For the sake of the kids.
The first sentence in
you mean
this
the kid he
article
was in
says,
bed with a heart-on with?
That's the one.
The son. Yeah. When he was sexting with a underage girl.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Look at the picture they put
I know.
in the paper of him too. Such a dork looking goofball,
Yeah.
Was it Danger, Carlos Danger?
Carlos Danger. Sure.
There he is.
Yeah. I don't know. That seems one of those crimes, man, that if that's what you're attracted to, which he obviously is, I don't know how you fix that. I hopefully the horseback riding and the painting and infinity pools.
Was it always underage chicks, or was it just he was
what was the
sexting,
crime
right?
technically?
It was
because
the underage.
it was 14.
Underage. But
Okay.
I thought the first one,
Yeah,
right?
the
We
other
talked
shit-
to her, right? Sydney Leathers. She was an adult. I don't think it was
I think
necessarily.
that's the thing. I don't
was
think he's
younger,
attracted
too.
to
He's
young
just
girls. I think
sexting,
he's
man.
attracted to sexting and showing his dick, which is technically not illegal.
So he's
I
got a
guess.
chance.
Yeah, I guess, but that one was 15.
I know.
That other girl, I mean.
I know. That's what we said. That's
Yeah.
what put him away.
Yeah.
But the other shit was just politically harmful, obviously.
But dude, to get caught doing it and then have the big public apology with your wife standing by you and then do it again. Oh, it's just brutal. How is she staying with him? Unreal, man. The owner of the limousine company, finding out is a former FBI informant who went undercover to record alleged terrorists in mosques after fleeing to the U.S. from Pakistan in the 90s, where he'd been accused of murder.
Gonna head to the U.S. and open a limo company in New York. Sweet.
Shahed Hussein, accused of murder.
I like that last name.
I'm not crazy about it either. I gotta be honest with you.
My initial thought is not good.
So he's in a prison in Pakistan, what with that whole murder thing hanging over his head. And so his dad goes in and bribes the police force to let the kid out of jail. And they're like, yeah, we'll take $20 to let him out. It's just murder. And so they let him out, and he flees to Moscow and then to Europe and then Mexico. And then he worms his way into the United States.
He had a dream,
Absolutely. He's
Couldn't
living
be
it.
denied.
So yeah, oh my God, dude. The last couple of years, they say they've had at least 4 cars pulled. He's the owner of Prestige Limousines, aka Hazy Limos. But these cars keep failing inspections, and Ford has confirmed now it's never manufactured the vehicles into limo form. So the one operated by Prestige had to have been modified unofficially. Despite repeated attempts to make contact with this guy, nobody can. Sounds like he's gone. He was like, oh shit, and just fled. In 2002, he convinced the Bureau to take him on after being caught running a dangerous DMV scan, which helped drivers cheat on their tests. How many people How many people are failing their DMV test to the point that this guy's running a scam for profit there?
Yeah, really. He's like waiting outside the Secretary of State,
Yeah.
Ah, man,
I got the answers right here. Who's looking for the
you're
answers?
pretty bummed, buddy. You didn't pass? No, man, I can't pass this shit. Well,
Yeah.
let me help you.
Yeah, you got $50 on you? get you that driver's license, no problem. Apparently, he was a translator. That's what he was hired for. And so he had a couple corrupt people that worked the front lines at the DMV. And so it was like, he would say, there's no chance this guy's going to pass. So send him over to Cheryl.
Oh my God.
Split the profits with it.
The idea of you're working at the DMV, you're a corrupt DMV worker. Was there a worse company that you'd be the corrupt, like running a scam on?
Hey man, if you gave people priority in line, holy shit.
That's
you know?
true.
Oh yeah, I'd pay a small fortune for that for sure. In 2002, the FBI arrested him for the scam. He got caught up somehow. He took a plea deal, which involved him working as a confidential informant and spent the next several years recording other conversations in the DMV for their benefit, incriminating his friends and colleagues.
Broke this thing wide open.
Absolutely. 4 years later, after filing bankruptcy, he somehow pulled enough money together and buys this hotel in Gainsborough, which became the Crest Inn. He then was put to work by the FBI to infiltrate mosques, and they paid him a salary of $96,000.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
His works in the mosques led to the arrests of James Comedy, David Williams, Anta Williams, and Laguerre Payan. They plotted they were going to drop bombs in synagogues in the Bronx, was their deal. And they were going to shoot down military planes. Yeah. So
that's good.
The three men were arrested when Hussein drove them to the Riverdale Mosque with explosives, and of course the feds were waiting for them there. However valuable his undercover work was, he came under scrutiny as witnesses and reliable, and he was not a reliable witness or informant during the trial when it was suggested he had turned off his recording device during critical parts of the conversation. And there were also claims of entrapment. Even the judge who convicted the four men ruled that his behavior as an informant was very troubling. He might be the guy that they did that whole like Dateline story on. I think that might be the one in New York where these guys got busted and they were like totally thought they were set up by this Hussein dude. Might be this guy.
Don't you think they'd reference that?
Dude, I'm just the details I'm reading in the story. I'm like, that sounds like the same dude. Maybe not though. He also goes by the name Shahed Malik too. So if he was,
think about all this shit, and for people like us just going on about our wave here, if this limo doesn't
we're just
run,
normies, dude.
Right? If it's
compared to this guy, what a sordid past.
But like, if this limo doesn't run through this stop sign, this dude is just gonna keep going on, and now we know about this life that he's led.
Well, he's got this Roach Motel that he runs. He does. And so they're like, people are going there thinking the limo company is run out of here because he's got all kinds of squirrely shit going on. And so he's not at the hotel on Monday, but employees are like, no, we're not running limos out of here. We're just here to collect the money and stop the guests from killing each other.
How are they doing that, by the way?
What kind of quote is that? What are you guys doing here? We're not running limos. We're just collecting money and trying to prevent the guests from killing each other.
I'd like to know what preventive measures they're taking in this hotel business that are stopping the murder. Like, what are they doing that's stopping the murders from happening?
I don't know, but it just seems like an odd quote for a desk person at a fucking shit motel to say. By the way, his last known address, where do you think Mr. Hussein would live?
I mean,
a $1.8 million home on 3 acres in Albany. 6 bedroom, 10,000 square foot, 5 full and 4 half bathrooms. Comes with a 4-car garage and its own tennis court and sauna.
Dude, crime does pay, by the way. The statement that crime
obviously
it pays very well, just as long. It just depends on when you're gonna get caught and how that's gonna go down. But if you do it, crime fucking pays. That's a bullshit statement.
They say that it's now empty, so he's not there. He's fucking taken off. He's got a massive indoor pool and it's discolored from stagnation. And a neighbor said the family rented the home and heard they've now moved abroad. I believe that to be true. He's been involved in dozens of lawsuits over the years, going back to 97. In most cases, they say he eventually paid up after dragging the matter out for years. The Crest Inn gets panned online. People are like, can't believe this place is still open. One simply said, this is the hazardous inn. Of 29 reviewers, all but 4 gave the Crest
what city
Inn the lowest grade of terrible.
Does it say what city it actually is in or no?
Yeah, it was what was the name of that city? Hold on,
sorry, I'd be I wish I would have.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
it was like gold. Yeah,
it's all right, dude.
Whatever I said, who cares? It's but near Albany, New York. So one guy says, Paula from Boston wrote, this place was absolutely disgusting. Horrible rooms, not clean, cockroaches, no shampoo, no iron. And this is the guy that owned the limo company.
1 star on TripAdvisor.
Is that what it's getting? How many reviews are there now? There were 29. More people piled on now.
Terrible. Yeah, there's 25 terribles. 1 very good.
Oh, really?
So, you know, Hussein jumped on there at some point.
Yeah, right.
1 average, 2 poors, and 25 terribles.
Oh, man. What's going on over there to Crest Inn?
This inn is extremely disgusting. We were greeted a few minutes after arriving by a man who informed us that it would take a few minutes to get the key to our room. The keyhole to our door was missing. And above it were retrofitted scanners for the key cards. Beside our room were 2 large dogs that did not stop barking for the 15 minutes we were in our no pets allowed room. The room was extremely humid at close to 90 degrees. As the host informed us that his boss did not like to spend money on AC.
His boss?
The host
he's from the Middle East. He's fine with the humidity.
The host plugged in the AC and other appliances when we were there. He then left to get a blanket for us. This turned out to be a stained duvet with no cover. The floor is covered in dirt. The sofa and chair were covered in dirt and hair.
Why did they stay?
The sink was not clean and had bugs stuck to it.
Please say this ends up with saying we didn't stay. Like
multiple cigarette burns. The toilet was brown. The towels were stained. The bed had no sheets. Only the stained duvet with no cover. And the door is chewed at the bottom. I don't believe the attached pictures truly show how gross this establishment is.
Does it look gross in the picture?
Yeah, it doesn't show how truly gross. It doesn't. I mean, fortunately, Airbnb provided a full refund. I left after arriving 15 minutes prior and then found other accommodations.
Okay.
Whew.
Boy, doesn't sound good.
Rooms can be hard, says Linda in Vermont. Rooms can be hard to find on summer weekends in Saratoga, but don't book this place unless you are desperate. It appears to be an off-licensed motel with rundown exteriors, splintered wooden decks, and rusty AC units. It's not as dire as some of the earlier reviews. Our room had been recently painted, had working AC, TV, and internet, and a decent bed, I guess.
It's getting better. Things are looking up. What year was that one from? Is that more recent?
That was July of 16.
Okay.
January of 16, though. Let's back up. Don't ever come to this hotel.
Oh, boy.
The manager asks people to buy their pills. There's no fitness room here. The rooms are gross. Stay away from here. You can have pets here, though, but you have to walk them off the property.
Did you really think you were going to pull into that parking lot and be like, oh, I can't wait to hit the gym? You really thought there was going to be a gym in there?
I know.
Come on, man.
Oh, my God. To add to everyone else's bad experience here, do not go close to this criminal-type establishment, in all caps. But beyond that, I booked with Booking.com and was then told when trying to check in they didn't have a reservation for me. Later, my bank account was charged for the room. No resolution.
It's probably one of the dozens of lawsuits
he's
been involved in. Oh, my God. Maybe you're better off getting one of those tiny homes. Are you a fan of the tiny homes?
I've seen the tiny home. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah,
move it around.
There's this new one. I saw some pictures of it. I think I could live like this. Where I guess you just move around with this thing. What do you just trailer hitch this thing wherever you go?
It's kind of like RV living, man. It's kind of what I surmised would be my end of times, my retirement.
Yeah.
Gab and I would just kind of drive around and park.
Yeah, we're gonna follow you, me and E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In your tiny home.
Yeah, we're gonna get a tiny home. I don't know if I like the fact that it's got all windows so you can see. I mean, it's cool, but I'm gonna want to be getting it on in my tiny home, right?
Yeah, but you can put it way out, in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah, but all you need is
seem
one Paul Bunyan walking up on you as you're just, going to town.
I think the idea, though, is to not be too enclosed in your tiny home, because your tiny home is
tiny.
Literally 8 by 8.
Yeah, it's 106 square foot, $24,800. Seems kind of steep, doesn't it?
It does seem steep for a tiny home. But
you can live almost anywhere without a permit is the thing. Drop structures designed the prefab house called Mono to be placed. Would you name your thing Mono? I mean, I think Mono, it's like, oh, kid got mono. He's not in school for the next 6 months. But yeah, that's what they went with, Mono. To be placed almost anywhere in North America. It does not require a permit in most of North America. That means this plug-and-play property can be placed in myriad locations without restriction. Each Mono is lit by LED pot lights and heated by an electronic heat source. Also features a Baltic birch interior finish, vinyl flooring, and Douglas fir deck. The model can be upgraded. You want a bathroom, right? Doesn't want a bathroom.
Yeah.
Kitchen?
guess.
I mean, if I'm going in, I'm going all in. I want my kitchen.
Well, then what's this becoming? It's no longer a tiny home.
Well, it's a little bit bigger, but
It's not a tiny home.
dude, I want my upgrades include a bathroom, kitchen, loft, Murphy bed, cabinets, and blinds.
There's
so
a
yes, please.
huge mistake right there. Putting a fucking couch in your tiny home.
Yeah,
Look what it does to tiny home.
it takes up way too much of the tiny home.
So, Mike, you just want to hull around a cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I mean-
basically. Hey, man, I didn't make this up. They're the ones offering it.
So you're gonna get a big flat bed and just haul this around with a
Yep.
bathroom attached.
Now I'm gonna
Where are
do.
the pictures of the ones with the bathrooms in this? Like, I don't.
Dude, honestly, why don't people want to do this? Just get a fucking tent, man.
No,
I know.
tents stink. I'd rather have this. What I would do is I would cart it to my location where I want to go. I would set it down and then I would sell my RV and I'd just be my home. I'd just stay wherever I was, right on the water. You know.
What would you eat, Mike?
Well, I'd have to find an In-N-Out or something around the area that I could within walking distance. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool. You're seeing this a lot now. People doing this. You know,
The storage container type houses and stuff.
yeah, it's kind of cool in a way. These people, I don't know. I mean, us growing up, it was like a status thing. You wanted the big house and the blah blah blah, and now it's like people just want to consolidate, not spend all that money on it. They want tiny cars,
Tiny home.
tiny homes. But 25 grand seems a tad steep. I got to be honest with you.
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it's October.
Ah.
The spectacular savings are back from the dead with our repulsive friends Zot, Ford, and Holly. For the month of October, you can lease a new 18 Ford Escape as low as $57 a month. This squeamishly haunting deal will be gone before you know it. So slither your way to Zot Ford to see our zombie-rific friends and get your ghoulish new Ford Escape as low as $57 a month. Check out the bone-chilling deals and horrifying inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Very good. Nicely done. Not an actual emergency at a Stafford County, Virginia middle school last week, Jay. But had there been one, a teenage transgender girl could have been in serious danger.
What to do with the tranny, right?
Yeah.
Where do you put it?
Her.
Him.
Yeah. According to Equality Stafford, which serves the LGBT parents and students in this county of public schools in Virginia, so they had a lockdown drill at the middle school while one trans student was in her phys ed class. The boys were told to go to the boys' locker room. The girls go to the girls' locker room. But the transgender student herself, a girl, so does that mean
I don't know.
She's a boy?
I don't know.
Yeah. They didn't either. So she couldn't join the latter group because the teachers were not sure where she should go. And so the student was forced to watch the adults charged with her care debate the safest place for the other students to have her shelter. During this debate, she was instructed to sit in the gym with a teacher until the drill was complete, away from her peers and identified as different.
It's not like they're being put in a locker room to go change and get naked.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I was kind of thinking
go
that too.
shelter. Go. If you think of yourself as go in the girls one, whatever.
Why do we even need to pair off into the
I
locker
know.
rooms at that point?
I don't know.
Like,
Yeah, if it's
unless
like
it's a
tornado,
new gym class.
You're right. If it's like a tornado coming, you're just going into a safest place in the building. You're not. Yeah, you're right.
Well, then they made her go sit in the hallway too.
Oh.
Doesn't seem all that safe. The incident
That's where we
comes
used to sit, as the hallway.
less than 2 months after the family of a 12-year-old trans girl named Maddie had to move away from Akil, Oklahoma, after violent threats were made. Well, yeah, you can't honestly think you're going to live in Oklahoma and be a trans person and not run into an issue here and there. I mean, come on, it's fucking Oklahoma.
Questions will be raised.
Mm-hmm. I feel bad for the school in this story because they're in this impossible position of not knowing what to do and knowing that if they make the wrong decision, they're going to be slaughtered for it. And it's like, so everyone's in
I'd
this
have put
like,
it on that girl, dude.
eggshells.
I'd have put it on the girl or him or her. I'd have been like, which one do you want to go into? That's fine.
Yeah, that's probably the best move.
You know the safest move. When in doubt, be as progressive as you possibly can.
Yeah. Equity Stafford has urged the local community not to see the teachers as the bad guys, given their lack of guidance for these issues. Teachers are often afraid of retribution by other parents. And that's the other thing. It's like, you stuck this boy in the locker room with my girls. Like, and so the teachers are left with this decision.
They do get their summers off, though.
I know. It's nice. It's nice. So anyways, it's too bad we're still dealing with this shit because I agree. Just, well, boys, go to the boys' locker room. Girls, go to the girls' locker room. You pick one. Easy.
That's
Simple.
what I would have done.
How about you all go to one spot so in case like disaster befalls you and you have a quick 7 to 9 minutes to get it all one last time, then
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
They're only like 12, but still.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. But if that's their choice, you know.
Who are we to say?
Yeah. Tamir Rice's mom is not happy.
Tamir Rice, remind me.
Tamir Rice is the 12-year-old boy in Cleveland. Cop rolled up, hopped out of the car in 2 seconds, shot him. He was
He had
carrying
an airsoft.
He had an airsoft gun, but the orange tip was removed.
Right.
And so people called the police and said there's a kid waving a gun at kids in the park. Cops pulled up, and was it Timothy? I can't remember how to say his last name. The guy that shot him, anyways.
Now I got you.
He's been offered another job at a new police station. And she said she fell to her knees when she got the news that the cop that shot her son in 2014 has landed a new job with a small town Ohio police department. It put me in a state of shock. It was just a feeling of numbness, my whole body. Shock is now giving way to anger. She's launching a letter writing and call-in campaign asking supporters to contact the town in an effort to get the job rescinded. Timothy Lohman was the cop that did that. And I remember watching that video going, dude, bag up. Don't come screaming in hot, leap out of the car and just open fire on a kid. It seemed reckless as shit. Grand jury did not indict him. And the city of Cleveland settled a lawsuit for $6 million. I mean, Tamir Rice's family is loaded now. $6 million. He murdered a 12-year-old innocent boy. He does not deserve to be on anyone's police force. Honestly, I got to side with Tamir Rice's mom on this one and just go,
yeah,
what is the fucking point? What good can come from hiring this guy? I'm sorry. I know he wasn't
indicted, though.
He wasn't indicted, and people deserve a second chance. But in this climate, like for the police department, to be like, yeah, that's our guy. We need him on the beat. It's like, dude, there's already enough tension and strife. Like, just go find another line of work, man. It just seems like for all parties involved, obviously he can go do what he wants, and the police force will probably stay with him, but I just think it sends a rough message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you not agree?
If he want, I personally would never want to be a cop for another day in my life if I had done that. If that was the outcome.
Yeah.
But if that's his thing, and that's what he knows, and that's his occupation, he wasn't indicted.
Yeah.
Go. Guess he can go work somewhere if they want to hire him. He's obviously has a black mark in his personnel file, but
as Trump said about Brett Kavanaugh yesterday, that he was found not guilty. I thought of you immediately, Jay, when he said that. And so Mr. Officer Lohman, I guess, was found not guilty as well. And so he's apparently
you're talking about innocent or not guilty.
No, that's why I said it. He was found
according to Trump.
What did Trump say? He was
I didn't say it. I didn't hear it, but you just how you said it. That's
my pet peeve is when people say, "Yeah, he was found innocent."
That's what he said. I'm sorry, I fucked that up. He was found proved innocent. It's like, no, he wasn't. He was not fucking proved innocent. Hey, how we doing for you?
We have some email.
What do we got?
If you'd like to write into the show, send us your thoughts to email at DetroitCast.com. Bone Job chimes in with a question. Haven't heard from Bone Job in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, fags, says Bone Job.
He still listens.
Why isn't the show in Google Play anymore? I assume the Tard had something to do with it. Thanks. We are in Bing Play. It may not be in Google Play anymore, but check out Bing Play.
Google Play, I guess, has finally yanked us.
David writes in with a grievance. He wants to be put to the clock on this.
Okay.
Smart ass, big ass, and likes it in the ass. I was recently I was outvoted by the family, forced to go to Disney instead of Hawaii. Read fast, lots
That's
to
what you
grieve,
get for having a family.
and start
Great
the clock.
pointing.
Who the fuck actually likes Disney World? It's the same price as going to Hawaii. Let me see. Go to paradise or be treated like cattle. Second, who would ever, and I mean ever, want to wade through a sea of people while eating shitty, overpriced food and waiting in line for 3 hours? Not a typo, 3 fucking hours for the new Avatar ride. Happiest place on earth? I don't think so. Just sweaty, unhappy people with kids that want you to buy them everything. Shitty rides. And does anyone here speak English? And did I mention it rains every goddamn day in Florida? I was there for a week. Didn't see many happy people. No, just wet, pissy foreigners. Done.
Wow. Nice job getting that in.
Thanks for listening. Bye. B.I. Dave. I have been to Disney World, and I wouldn't mind taking the little tiny girl back.
Yeah, you should.
I like Disney World.
That shocks me, because I would think for all the reasons he listed, you would be like, ugh. Because that's what I remember about it. I remember I was like 13 when we went.
Mm-hmm.
And so my sister liked it. She's 5 years younger than me.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
but-
I wouldn't want to like take my boys right now. You know, they wouldn't be interested in that.
I mean,
But
Space Mountain was literally the only ride that I liked. That was it.
Yeah, you got to be the right age. You got to be in the right mindset, and you have to have a plan, and you have to go on off weeks. You can't go like they do all sorts of charts. They sell friggin' books on this shit, like this thick, you know?
Really?
Yeah, almanacs on visiting Disney World, and you.
So what? Like the best time to go?
Yeah, the best and the worst. I mean, if you're there are some peak times where, oh my God, every ride would be 3 hours. There's so many people there, and that's absurd to me. Where you couldn't even move. No, you know, we went when we went with the Tiny Girl, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. We went on a way off week. We picked it like a year and a half in advance and targeted it, and we went then, and it was doable. Still some lines, but
yeah,
they had fun. My kids were at good age though.
What
I don't know.
I want to know how old his kids are first off.
Right.
And what do you have a ruling here?
I guess old man and pussy, you know, you gotta know there's gonna be crowds. You gotta know to me it's an American standard, you know. Every kid should go to Disney World, in my opinion.
I'm gonna say pussy and old man as well, Jay, and my reasons are because he needs to be the man of the household and put his foot down, put your goddamn foot down and go, hey kids, guess what, we're going to Hawaii.
Yeah,
you know, that's what we're doing. Because
and there's ways to do this, by the way, that are way cheaper than going to Hawaii. Like that wasn't on my radar. Like, oh well, we could either go to someplace fantastic
to Hawaii
like Hawaii
alone,
or there. That wasn't even close.
I don't even believe him, because just flying alone to Hawaii can be thousands.
If Dave stayed like at one of the parks in one of those crazy expensive exclusive hotels, then I could see that. But yeah, there's ways to stay off site and save and have your own kitchen and buy your own food and stuff, and you save a ton. So
that stinks. I don't want to do
that. So the premise, I think, might be wrong. This notion that it's either or Hawaii or Disney World. I don't know.
Isis, what is your ruling?
I'm going with pussy and old man, but mainly just because, dude, you put yourself in this position. What are you thinking? Like, what do you think was going to happen?
The position he put himself in was what? That he had kids?
Yeah, the life position he put himself into was on a track that we were not going to choose Hawaii over Disneyland. It's not good or bad. I'm just saying.
Some of your vacations, well, all of your vacations when you have kids are going to, in large part, center around what your kids want to do, you know?
Oh, it sounds awful.
Wish I would have told that to my parents when we were driving around. Actually, it's funny because I love it now. That is the funny thing about it, because you say that, and my parents didn't do that at all. It was like, well, we want to go to see Washington and we want to go see Boston. Now, having said that, I look back at it and I fucking missed it, and I wish I could do it again, but they did not. So I guess my dad did put his foot down.
I think my parents, for the most part, were looking out for the kids. You know,
my parents didn't look out. Like, the more I think about it, I'm not saying it's in a bad way, but they didn't look out for me as shit. Like, as far as like what was fun or anything a kid would want to do. Again, later appreciated it, and you learn this stuff, but
you weren't stopping at water parks and shit.
Fuck no, dude.
Me either.
Yeah. See, my parents knew we would be such pains in the asses that it was better off just doing something that we could get into too.
Go to the beach or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Water park, beach, whatever.
Corn Dog writes in. Haven't heard from Corn Dog in a while. DCast marathon ? Jay, hope you are well in the well to quite well range. Just curious, is Team Dirtface making an appearance this year at the Detroit Marathon, which is October 20th? I myself will be making the trip from North Carolina to run the half with some family, and it would be wonderful to run into my podcast heroes. Also, the show has been great of late. And by of late, I mean the past 5 years. Keep up the good work.
I see what he did there.
Love my Freezeworth. Sincerely, Corn Dog. You know, we met Corn Dog's sister at one of the events, the Hamlin events.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Last December. Remember her? She like wanders and she's like, yeah, I don't know who you guys are.
Yeah.
But I've got my brother Corn Dog sent me here to get a poster.
That's right.
Remember her?
Yeah.
She's just like, I got to get going. Can you guys maybe sign this? Or are you the guys? Like, yeah, we're the guys.
Yeah, that's us.
That was awesome.
Told to come here and get a poster.
Actually, Team Dirtface fell apart this year in short order. Isis got fat and happy.
That's not
lazy.
Whoa.
Lazy.
Not
Sneech-like.
Not fucking true at all.
No.
I've been running more than I have last year.
But El Presidente appears to have gotten cancer and AIDS.
That's true too. The thing about Team Dirtface was going to be this: nobody was not going to want. Maybe El Prez would have been okay with doing what he did again, but nobody.
No. We had listener Adam, a fucking USA Olympic team coach, who was going to be our ringer this year.
I was never told that
because I never consulted you because I knew you were fat and happy and didn't want to run it.
I was not fat.
No, this is what happened, man. We looked, Isis and I, in like January, like, you know what? I'm not going to do the relay because I'm going to do the half. And so we both kind of came into the year thinking we're going to run the half. And then Marisa got injured or something. She was like, I can't do it. And so that just kind of fizzled.
Well, plus I would never want to do it if I'm not that first person. I would never do that relay if you had to be the people across a bridge or where you did sitting on the island for 3 hours. If I'm not the first person going where you get to just get it over with, I'm not doing it.
Well, you got to sacrifice a few
Well, I don't
hours
have
of your
to.
life. Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought it was fun. Even though I was the last guy sitting on Belle Isle waiting for your
And
asses.
it stunk.
I thought it was a fun event. But yeah, maybe next year, Corn Dog. But good luck running the half. That's no joke. That's fun. Andy writes in, twin brother limo crash, professionals and lady. Referencing poem number 1147, limo crash brother identifying twin brother. Of course, the horrific New York limo crash. Mike mentioned that the driver happened to have a twin, and wouldn't that be weird to go identify this twin brother? Brings back a creepy story of a similar incident, says Andy, that I was involved in as a new officer for a downriver department in the late 90s. While on patrol around midnight, I came across, a large freight train stopped, blocking the roadway. Never a good sign. Why was the train stopped on the tracks? Trains don't stop here, and this had not happened at this particular location in the past. After 10 minutes of investigation, I soon realized that the train operator stopped the train after what he believed was a person struck laying on the tracks. Great. I thought, here's my first fatal accident to handle. Don't mess this up. Sure as shit, I discovered the body about 100 feet down the tracks. It was what you'd expect, a severed leg, a bashed skull, victim dead on scene. Apparently, the victim got drunk and fell asleep on the tracks. Oh, of all places to fall asleep, man. My God.
I'll wake up in a couple
Not
minutes.
10
No
feet
big
from
deal.
the tracks.
Dude, I could see someone doing that,
Yes.
though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to lay here in the tracks. A minute, I'll be fine.
Hopefully, he didn't feel a thing. I can remember it very vividly to this day, says Andy. Turns out the victim worked at a horse racetrack and was still in uniform, tan pants, red shirt, red baseball cap with a horse track logo. After remaining on the scene, completing all the steps needed, medical examiner, photos, scene measurement, etc. Being the rookie, I was also sent to make the notification to the next of kin. Friggin' great night. Here is where it got weird.
There's where it gets weird.
It was about 4 a.m. by this time, foggy, misty night. One could say eerie and spooky. We were sent out of the city into the country to notify the victim's brother. Parking on a dirt road, myself and another officer waded through knee-high brush to literally a little shack in the woods, nervously knocking on the door. I wanted to do a good job and do the respectful thing regarding notification. After several minutes, someone came to the door. We had obviously wakened the occupant, no shit, who answers the door, but a guy wearing tan pants, a red shirt, and red baseball hat with a horse track logo. His fucking twin brother, scruffy beard and all. It was so surreal to be looking at the living dead body of what occurred earlier in the night. The brother also worked for the same horse track. My partner and I looked at each other, delivered the message, stayed with him until he made a phone contact with other relatives. As we left the shack in the woods, we literally ran back to the scout car, completely freaked out. 100% bona fide true story. Anyway, don't get to share that incident very often. Keep up the good work, gentlemen.
That's crazy. Dude,
That would be weird.
I'd quit my job.
I would too.
Like once I got out in there and it's foggy and the tall brush, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna send the guy a text. I'm out. I can't do this job. Like that would be the worst part of your gig, dude. Go knock on a door. Fuck
It's
that.
his first one.
Oh,
Nervous and uncomfortable that'd be.
Oh, awful. No way.
Ryan has a grievance. Grievance has found me. Ready?
Yep.
I cannot stand people who think I give a shit how their day is. Like when you meet someone and say, hey, how's it going? And they respond, well, not so great, or could be better. Don't they understand that this is just a pleasantry and no one really cares how their day is? When someone tells me, could be better, my response is, that sucks. Anyhow, so for all the listeners out there, no matter how shitty your day is, the answer is always good. How about you? Now vote this Bonafide or Bonafide Plus and move on, you sons of bitches.
No way. No way.
I'm going to go Bonafide, man.
Of course you are.
No, it's definitely not Bonafide. He's pussy and old man. Dude, here's how you handle that. Here's how you handle
See
that.
the gears turning. He's just like, he's pissed about that.
This is how I handle that. I don't ask anybody how they're doing, and then I don't have to hear it. So that's how you answer. Why are you even asking them?
Yeah, throw it back in the grievance face.
Just don't even ask them, dude. Why are you even asking? So pussy and old
but it's
man.
awkward talking to you, E. Like when you first make pleasantries with E, he can walk in and stand there for 3 minutes and not even say like hello.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just, but most humans
Yeah,
don't.
there does need to be an exchange. Just,
No, there doesn't.
Yo, what's happening?
Is there an acceptable exchange that we can come up with to replace how you doing?
Well, I walk down and go, Jesus, and he'll go, Jay.
Yeah, that is what I do.
That's true.
And that,
You'll walk
that
in-
kind of works for us.
You'll walk by me and say, Holmes
You'll go, Holmes.
or Sir.
Yeah.
See that I do appreciate those because those don't involve a fake question. So those are better.
The more I think about this, I can't tell you the last time anyone in this room asked me how I was doing. I don't honestly.
Well, to Ryan's point, it's bullshit.
I don't think in 5 years those words, "How are you doing?" has been uttered by either of you.
How's your
I
day?
don't ask people.
How's your day going?
Hey guys, I never ask anyone how
I've just reserved to the fact that no one in here gives a shit. They're here to do a job and then
like
fuck off.
Getting a bless you after a sneeze in this room. It's just not happening.
Yeah. This is a tough room to get a laugh out of, or empathy, or anything. No one gives a shit.
Good luck.
So I think Ryan, I see where he's going with this.
I know why he's mad, by the way, because I hate it. I hate the ingenuity. There was nothing more that I hated than when I worked at like a Meijer or those shitty kind of jobs, where especially Meijer, because there's so many workers. So if you had to go like to the break room in the back and you're walking through the back and you see this dude coming about 50 feet away, knowing he's about to, "Hey, how's it going?" And then like by the time you mumble an answer, he's already past you. He didn't even fucking care. So I would just start staring at the ground. So my point being, like, I understand his thing. That's why I just don't even ask people anymore. I never ask.
It's not a real question. So to E's point, I guess you can avoid the whole thing. It's an absolute fake question for those people who don't understand that and misinterpret that as an actual inquiry.
Yeah.
My God, man.
For those slow people out there that think anyone gives a shit how you're doing, it's terrible. However, I am a touch worried about Ryan's humanity because obviously he's running into a lot of people that are crying for help.
That's true.
And he just
like, all
is
these
like,
people
yeah,
are...
cool, whatever. Right. Anywho, like he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, apparently he runs into people left and right that are just like, "How's it going?" "Really bad, dude."
"Not good, dude."
Oh,
anyhow,
that sucks.
Look at the time.
How many people are committing suicide on your watch, sir? These are obvious, very clear cries for help that Ryan is
hear something,
ignoring.
Say something. Jesus.
Yeah.
Save the rest for tomorrow.
Sounds good. All right, let's call it a day there, everybody, and we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see y'all then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.